Joining us live on the phone is Project NOAA Executive Director Mahar Lagmay. You'd know him as @Nababaha on Twitter. Good evening, Mahar. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good evening, Maria.
So you've been watching this all so closely. How would you assess the response to Typhoon Glenda?
Oh, I think it was very good. The number of fatalities for Glenda, which is a very powerful typhoon, which pummeled also heavily populated areas starting from Bicol all the way up to Zambales, crossing the middle part of the archipelago. And because that was a very powerful typhoon and there were lots that were affected, still the number of casualties is very low, and I guess the response was quite good. Actually, in disaster mitigation and prevention, there are two important things to consider. There must be good warning, understandable, accurate warnings that were provided by the government, and that must be matched by appropriate action by the people. And I guess when those two combine, the success rate for effective disaster mitigation and prevention works very well.
Given what you've seen, could we have done anything better?
Yes, of course. The objective really is to have zero casualties, and the objective is really not to have mass deaths over a certain area, like what happened, for example, during Yolanda and Pablo. But those were two different scenarios wherein we were blindsided by two very new hazard phenomena. One was the very large storm surge event, and the other, which happened during Pablo on December 4, 2012, which was also a very large hazard event called a debris flow involving 20 to 30 million cubic meters of rocks cascading down the community of New Bataan in Compostela Valley.
The information seemed to have been given to the public with enough time. There weren't any of those major surprises in this one, except for the fact that the storm seemed to have picked up its pace, right? I mean, it really passed through Metro Manila relatively quickly. Did you expect that, or was that a surprise?
No, it was predicted actually the night before, or the day before, that Metro Manila will be hit by the typhoon at around 8 to 9 a.m. And that actually constitutes good forecasting, and that is an important part of the warning system that I was talking about earlier. And if you have a good warning to the people that's understandable and accurate, that is the main component of a good preparedness plan or preparedness measures. It just must be matched by the appropriate response of the people, which is based on good education, probably experience from past events, and willingness to participate in the response program.
Fantastic. Lessons learned from this experience for the next one?
Lessons learned. Well, there are many lessons learned here. The good lessons are number one, that if the government actually works hard and gives good forecast, it provides a good basis for effective and appropriate action. And it also helps if the government, headed by the highest in command, the father of our country, commands everybody to work for that warning system that we want to put in place for an effective disaster program. And with that warning system comes a lot of hard work. It's not just trying to say that it's going to happen. There's a lot of science behind it. There's a lot of technology behind it. There's a lot of hard work behind it in order to come up with an accurate warning. And all of those things are needed to be able to achieve a zero casualty. It's also good to note that Albay achieved its zero casualty. We probably need to do that in other places. We want zero casualties, really. The other things that we need to do is probably to get more people to get involved. Right now, we know that a lot of people got involved, media was very important in disseminating the information to get the people involved and informed, because you won't get them involved if they are not involved, if they are not informed properly. And I think media, all of the channels, the crime media, the newspapers, the radio, the TV broadcast, including social media, played an important role in the effort. And that gave the people information, necessary information to act accordingly.
Fantastic.
I don't,
Go ahead,
I
Mahar.
don't
Go ahead.
know, I don't know about the negative things that we learned here. Probably there are none, because it was quite a successful effort that we made to mitigate the impacts of that catastrophic event. It was actually a catastrophic event because it was a typhoon that packed very strong winds, about 175 kilometers per hour. That's actually very strong.
Yes.
It was not as strong as Yolanda, but nonetheless still very strong. And we were prepared for the hazards that were associated with that typhoon, and we acted accordingly. The LGUs, the individuals in the community, the civil society organizations, everybody participated. All of these things would not happen if there was no community effort. And I mean that everybody should participate in order for it to be effective.
Fantastic. Mahar, last question. Last night we spoke with Albay Governor Joey Salceda, and he talked about how part of the problem is that not enough of the local government units are doing this. There are 1,800 local government units who are really at the forefront of this. And are you seeing better take-up among them? I mean, this seemed to have been much better coordinated today than it had been in the past. Is that an accurate observation?
I think so. I mean, if they did not participate, if they left their constituents alone, then on their own, then probably there would have been more deaths. So that's my basis for saying that they did their part. Everybody did their part. It's not only the government officials, I think, that did their part. It's everybody doing their part in order for that program to be effective, in order to lower or lessen the number of casualties associated with Typhoon Glenda.
Thank you so much. That's Mahar Lagmay, the proponent of Project NOAA, at the forefront of getting information out. Certainly great feedback on social media today, the crowdsourcing on Project Agos. Thank you so much, Mahar Lagmay, for joining us.